afternoon and welcome. B-Man, you know where to find me. Today, I'm going to be speaking with both spectrums, a beginner and an inspiring senior tour player. And we'll get their perspective on when they started and why they still play today. But I wanted to talk to you about positioning and timing and the best way to figure out how to hit your short irons. I have a series that I'm going to show you. I call it the clock. That's right. So if you know what time it is in your swing, you'll be able to better hit shots close around the green. I'm going to be showing you the 7 o'clock position, the 8 o'clock, the 9, even more as far as 10, and the different distances that type of behavior will give you. So if you're swinging at 7 o'clock, you got to also swing forward the same equal distance, which would be 4 o'clock. You got it. So, or 5 o'clock. I messed that one up, didn't I? 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 4 o'clock forward. 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock forward. So you have to swing as equal distance back as you do forward. And you'll learn to hit shots. I know for 100 yards, I need the 9 o'clock swing. I need the 9 o'clock swing. It's not pitch and wedge. If I need a 75-yard shot, then my pitch and wedge is going to go more at 8 o'clock on through. And the key is to bring the club through with as much speed as you possibly can generate. That's what does it. Or if I'm just chipping around the green, 7 o'clock swing, some of them need to be pretty strong because I might be 30 yards out. But if I'm just trying to clip a chip, that becomes a touch sequence. You have to be able to have good hands to do that. So that's what I'm going to hopefully help y'all with today. Chipping using the clock. I'll be back at you. This is a drill that I recommend you try. I call it the clock. No, not what's on my wrist. This technique is designed to help you be a better chipper. If you notice, my arms are hanging at 3 o'clock and at 9 o'clock, representing a clock. The same amount of distance you swing back is the same amount of distance you swing forward. So here's the 9 o'clock back position, 8 o'clock position. Remember, this is where you're going to be taking your club to, and that's 7 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So if I have a short shot, I'm going to need my 7 o'clock technique. If I need a 30 to 40 yard, I'm going to use my 8 o'clock. If I need even more, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock swing, 80 yard, 120 yard, that's what I'm going to do. So real quickly, the technique would be for you to be able to move the club abruptly like this, all the way back to 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. And then after 7 o'clock, you want to move it back to 8 o'clock. Notice my wrist is not breaking. 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock is not. Watch what happens when you go to 9 o'clock. All of a sudden the club unhinges. Why is that? Well, you're waist high, and it should unhinge. You don't want to swing waist high and have a very stiff wrist. So, again, as far as you swing it back is as far as I'm demonstrating you swing it forward. So if you go to 8 o'clock back, you got to go 4 o'clock forward. If you go 9 o'clock back, you got to at least come to 3 o'clock forward. Same thing for 10 o'clock, and you're coming all the way to like 2 o'clock. That's why I call this the clock technique. Just practice the movement. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Let your wrist unhinge on its own. If you do this 100 times a day, 25 times every 5 minutes, you'll be done in 20 minutes. It'll better your swing the next time you play. Good afternoon, golf fans.
B-Man Golf, TTI. I'm standing here with another golfer which we did not know existed. This is Cathy. Cathy,
hi.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Pretty good. Now, we usually see you running around in the bar in the cart. I didn't know you played golf, but yet here we are.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you the same questions that I asked our other guests throughout the shows. I'm going to ask you first, how old was Cathy when she started playing golf?
26.
And why do you still play this goofy game?
Because I like it.
Because you like it, all right? So what does golf, after all these years, from 26 to now, what does golf mean to you?
Well, it's the most challenging game you can play. And every time you play, it's different. And when you hit a really good shot, it keeps you going.
All right. And what's the lowest score you've shot here? Say for 9 holes.
For 9, I don't know, 45.
That's not bad. Now, if Cathy, in all her infamous wisdom, had to give a golfer a tip, what tip would Cathy give?
Slow and low, stop at the top.
I haven't heard that one. That's fabulous. Cathy, thank you so much for stopping by. You're just a darling interview. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Good afternoon, sports fans. B-Man, that is B-Man Golf, TTI. I'm out here just before a round takes place for one of our special guys. This is Tim. He's quite the golfer, and he's still trying to make it on the senior tour. I know you don't believe it, but this is true. Tim, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Appreciate it.
Good deal. Of course, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked everybody. How old was Tim when he first started playing golf?
My dad took me to the course when I was 8 years old.
8 years old?
Yes.
And you've been playing ever since?
Intermittently, yes, but heavier the last few years. Yes.
Oh, good. Now, why do you continue to play this goofy game?
Because I still try to conquer it. I still try to beat the game. Still try to figure it out. I feel like there's an answer out there, but down in my heart I know there's not. But it's probably the perfectionist in me.
Oh, wow. Okay, now if Tim had to give a tip to a golfer, say a beginner, intermediate type golfer, what tip would you give them?
Get a lesson from a pro who knows what they're doing, keeps the swing simple, and don't overthink stuff.
Don't overthink stuff.
What I figured out over the years is the more I think, the worse I play. The more I know, your mind comes into it too much.
All right, and ladies, Tim was asking me if this is a dating site, so we're going to leave that part up to y'all. Tim, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate you, G.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too, brother. Bye.
All right.
Well, what'd you think? I hope that helped you. Remember, practice using that clock technique. The reason you want to do that is to stay consistent with your chipping. And thanks to Cathy and Tim, you got to look at someone that has shot 41 as their best score and someone that is a tour player status. He's pretty good. That's my buddy Tim. So, just like I will always tell you, B-Man says, putt 'em like you own 'em and rock the baby.